Hey, I just wanted to give my testimony and review of NCLEX webinar. I completed the course 2 weeks ago. 2 days later, I took my NCLEX. I only took 75 questions. I felt kind of good about it, but was a little bit nervous. And then 2 days later, I found out that I passed. That same day, I started working as a nurse. I am finishing up my second week as a nurse now. And a lot of my co-workers and peers that were all hired as new grads are still freaking out about taking the NCLEX. So I gotta say, it's such a relief that it's over with. My journey to NCLEX webinar started with me using a lot of other programs. Programs where you try to memorize things based off of pictures and graphics, and that wasn't working for me. I spent too much time trying to understand what the graphics meant. And I tried some nursing academy classes online and bought a bunch of test banks. But what I really needed was not just the test bank, but the strategy. And just reading the test bank wasn't teaching me strategy. So when I was taking practice tests, I felt like, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't seen these questions before. How will I know how to answer them? And so I had been following Mo on YouTube because when I started nursing school 3 years ago, his videos were coming up when I was looking to learn skills. He had a whole lot of skill videos. And so I knew that he had the NCLEX webinar. And so I signed up. Kind of late, actually. I only had 2 weeks before I was scheduled to take the NCLEX, and his program is 4 weeks. So I took it in the self-paced. In 2 weeks, I was studying from 7 a.m. to midnight every day for 2 weeks, which I don't recommend, but I was able to do it because I don't have kids or anything like that, and I took off work. But in that time, I was able to go through the videos, reread the PowerPoints. I had my old PowerPoints from nursing school next to me, so when he talked about a certain topic, I would have that topic pulled up in my PowerPoint. And it was amazing when you go back and reread your PowerPoints with like your hindsight. You see that, wow, they really were trying to prepare me for the NCLEX. And then what was really great about the NCLEX webinar is that I could contact my instructor any time of the day and he would answer. And if I had questions like, I learned it this way, why am I seeing this? Or how am I supposed to remember that? All these things that would come up while you would be studying, they would answer. And that really helped because a lot of times you get lost. I get fixated when I feel like something I learned, I'm relearning and it's completely different and it's like freaking me out and I'm going online, I can't find answers. So to have somebody there to answer questions, I think was huge for learning, just to keep me calm. I was texting them up to the day before the NCLEX, just saying, hey, what about this? How is this really what will be on how they would ask it? And so yeah, I went into the test pretty confident after studying hard. I mean, you gotta study hard. The webinar will give you the information you need on how to test. They'll give you a lot of questions that will be pretty similar to what you would see on the NCLEX. And Mo actually has a lot of test banks that he's had created by NCLEX test writers. So he's got several full-length tests. And so if you're weighing the price of buying an expensive test bank or buying NCLEX webinar because they're both around the same price, the NCLEX webinar is going to teach you the strategy and teach you test questions because every day you're going through a ton of questions with the webinar. And so I was ready. It was like taking the NCLEX every day, going through the webinar. So by the time I was done, in my case with 2 weeks, it was just another day when I went into Pearson to take the test. And I can't say enough about it. It was awesome. I'm still following the guy. Signed up for his nurse entrepreneurship course also. Just overall, I'm really happy with the product. I think Mo's a cool guy, and I think you'll have a lot of success if you join as well. So, best of luck to you on your NCLEX.